So here's where most people are going to get bang for their buck, and these are our hip mobility drills, all right? We're going to start with the deepest level, so we're going to look at the hip capsule. So we're going to start with scissor slides, 90-90 knee roll, and a closed chain hip lock. So the first one we're going to look at is a scissor slide. Scissor slide doesn't require any equipment or anything, right? We're going to be lying on our side, and we're going to bring our knees up to about 90. Like we're sitting on a chair, but lying on our side, right? We're going to open up our legs, but we're going to keep our feet together. The biggest thing about this is the knee has to be going forward and backwards, not up and down. So most people try, because they don't know how to do the movement, they try and bring it up and down. What I actually want is I want forward. So I want to protract my knee forward of the other knee. So what you'll see now is it's that way. And then I roll back and I bring it back. When you push your knee forward like that, you get an awful lot of movement on the bottom hip. So we lift it out, hold it for a second or two, and we'll bring it back. And we just roll through. And that's our scissor slide. The next one we're going to look at is 90-90 knee rolls. Again, this can be done in a load of different ways. Sometimes we don't even need a roller between the legs, right? What we're going to do is we're going to come up. So I'm going to leave my hands open so you can see my legs. I'm up on my 2 toes. Now I'm not moving my hips side to side and tapping that because there's no movement happening within the hip. What I am doing is I'm up and I'm trying to drop a knee. It's the exact same motion as a scissor slide, except we're just getting lovely movement around the capsule of the hip. Perfect. It promotes movement. It feels really strange when you do it, but it's just because you're not used to doing it. The next one is a closed chain hip lock, right? And this is a bit more of a stability drill. Now, I would give this to nearly everybody that comes in. And it's just, you imagine the amount of people that will struggle with doing something like this, but then be lifting massive weights, and you just have certain portions of the hip that aren't working as well as they could be when you're doing that type of strength work. So why don't we do this as accessory work the whole time to the strength work that we're doing? So all we do, simple enough, something for balance. When you get good at it, you won't need this. We're hiking the leg, we're lifting out and around, we hold, we drop. We bring it back, out and around and drop. That's all it is, and we repeat for reps. Up, out and around, drop. A lot of people will struggle with that. You'll feel it tight up on the hip, but it's just because the muscles are inhibited, they're not used to doing that motion. The next we're going to look at is abduction, adduction. So this is groin and glute. Adduction across, abduction out the way. That's just the term. So we'll look at side plank with hip abduction. Again, we all know side plank. Hip abduction, we're lifting up and we're dropping. You're going to feel that an awful lot on your bottom hip. The next one we'll look at is Copenhagen plank. Copenhagen planks you just have to be a bit careful with. They would be one of the gold standard ones I would do for any groin rehab, right? Again, we will need a bench for this, so you're not going to be able to do this at the side of the pitch. This is one that you might do at home. So with a Copenhagen plank, I'm sure a lot of you know where I'm going with this already, right? I'm gonna have our leg up. Start close. Don't start with the leg fully out like this because you will do damage. Start with your knee up, right? Side plank position, we're up, we hold, and that's our plank. If we're doing rotations, we can drop down, use our groin to winch us back up. Simple enough. Monitor your breathing as we do it. When we start to get good at it, we can use a longer lever to do it. Don't start with a long lever because you won't be able to maintain it. The next part we'll look at is sideline knee to knee. Again, another groin strength exercise. This one, we're going to be in the exact same position as our scissor slides. Alright, so we're going to be lying on our side, knees are going to be up. Same thing, we protract that knee forward, my feet are still together. And all I do this time is I'm trying to bring that knee up to touch this fella. Now, if my leg is set back here, handy. When my leg is protracted, it's very, very hard to lift that leg. You're actually going to feel it underneath your arse. And all I want is, I want you to lift hold and drop. And we repeat again for our sets and reps. The next thing we'll look at is rotation. So we're just going to do 90-90 IR, 90-90 rotations, and a 90-90 tri lift. So we'll look at 90-90 IR first. Again, you don't need a block, like a yoga block for this or anything, right? But I'm just going to do it. What you can use is a pillow, you can use a ball, you can use anything in between the legs. So what I'm going to do, up against the wall, okay? Feet up on the wall, block in between. What I want you to do is I want you to get your hips up off the floor, but I don't want this angle with the back. So I want the hips up, but I want your back straight. So I still have my hips up, but my back is straight. Nice and easy. I'm lifting one leg off. I still have the block in between my knees and I hold that there, but I'm going to rotate that leg out. I'm going to feel an awful lot of pressure in here. Hold it for a couple of seconds and bring it back. And again, sets and reps, 2-3 sets of 10. Hold for 2-3 seconds. Back in, repeat on the opposite side. When we start getting into our rotations and our tri lift, this is one that you could do at the pitch the whole time as part of warm-ups, cool-downs, everything, right? So, we're all familiar with our 90-90 split, right? Again, we're going to be rotating around, moving through the range. The better, well, I won't say the better immobilized people, right? Everybody is different. To be doing it without their hands, it doesn't really matter, right? So don't fall into that trap of saying you have to do it without your hands or you're weak, because it doesn't work like that. Put your hands on the floor, keep your feet in position, and just move your knees side to side. Do maybe 10-15 rotations each side. Then we end up in this position and we can do our tri lift. So with our tri lift, we've got 3 potential lifts. Our full leg, our knee, our foot. When we lift our full leg, we lift the whole thing up, we hold it for about 2-3 seconds, we drop. With our knee, we rotate it back, we hold for 2-3 seconds, we drop. With our foot, we lift it up, we hold for 2-3 seconds, we drop. And again, we do 10, 10, 10, and then we switch around, same thing on the other side. That's our rotational piece. And then we really have our flexion and extension. So our 90-90 heel taps, like we can do that again, like you could do this in the field up against the wall, but again, probably handier is to do it at home, right? Heel taps, again, we'll be lying on our side. We're going to have one leg outstretched this time, and again, you're going to be doing it both sides, so don't worry which one you start with. Same as the other thing with the hip, we've one hip up, flat back, and all we're going to be doing, we lift up and tap our heel. All the while maintaining the pressure through here. Again, repeating for longer reps, maybe 15 to 20. Then we start to get into our extension. So anyone that's watched this far, fair play. Now we're getting into our hamstring stuff. Replace Nordic curls with these, please. Nordic curls, most of the time, will end up getting turned into back extension. They've got nothing to do with a hamstring. So what we want to do is we want to look at a foam roller glute bridge with oscillations. So the first one, a foam roller glute bridge, is just a normal glute bridge where we're up, roller underneath the feet, and we're up high. Easy variation. Hard variation, a little bit further. Hardest variation, put the balls of the feet off, and we're up. Again, when we're getting good at that, move it into single leg, okay? And when we're getting good with that, we add oscillations. So an oscillation basically is that kind of movement. And what we do, up, high, single leg, oscillating through. There's nowhere for the hamstring to escape with that. That is your hip sequence.